Hello traders, Uncle Tony here. A lot of people have been asking me to take a look at Tesla. You know, we're heading to the Santa rally, although we already had a huge rally in the month of November. Probably one of the strongest up moves in history. The S&P was up more than 10%. It was huge. And a lot of people think with the coming of the Cybertruck, Tesla can keep running and flying all the way to New Year's. So let's take a look at Tesla and the Cybertruck. We all know that Cybertruck is one of the most anticipated vehicles in history, probably. It has a crazy, unique design, and it has powerful features, which makes everybody's talking about it. You know, they talk about it in the Joe Rogan podcast. All the YouTubers are talking about it. We see a lot of videos. So there's a lot of excitement about the Cybertruck. And all that hype and all that excitement might translate into a large up move in the stock. And today, stick around because I'm going to give you 3 trades that we can place on Tesla. One for a small account, one for a large account, and one for a very aggressive YOLO type of trader. I would love to get a Cybertruck for myself, but I don't know if my wife will let me. You know, I've been looking at the Cybertruck and its unique design with its unbelievable stainless steel exoskeleton is like anything I've seen before. And it's also bulletproof, which is very, very intriguing. And I love a powerful car. And supposedly, the Cybertruck has a range of 500 miles. And it can tow up to 14,000 pounds and can go from 0 to 60 in under 2.9 seconds. Wow. That's even better than a Porsche, maybe even a Ferrari. And about the pricing, you know, there's 3 layers of pricing. There's the, the one they hook you in with the $60,000 price. Then it's the $80,000 price. And probably everybody wants to get the $100,000 truck that has the most power, the most features. And if we want to buy a Cybertruck, we have to make some money. So let's go take a look at some trades. Remember, these trades are just ideas. They're not recommendations. And feel free to see if they match your assumptions. And maybe we can make a little bit of money to pay for Christmas. Everybody's talking about the fabulous 7. To me, there's the fabulous 8. And those 8 stocks are NVIDIA, Meta, Tesla, Amazon, Netflix, Microsoft, Google, and Apple. NVIDIA is up 220%, which is absolutely lunacy. And Tesla is up 93% this year. And it doubled, and people still think it can go on further. And you know something? I think so too. Okay. Now let's take a look at the chart. Of course, I'm not a technician, but I love watching charts because it can tell us a little bit where the stock has been and maybe where it's going. So if we look at the chart of Tesla, at the beginning of 2022, Tesla was flying. It was flying like a bird. It was over $400. And then I remember vividly, because I was in Vegas with my son enjoying a Raider game, and when Tesla hit almost $100. And actually, my son and I purchased some Tesla stock at 100 because we said, oh my God, this thing is really, really cheap. The problem is it went to 120, 125, and we sold it. And we took quick profits. And now Tesla stock is hovering around 238. And here's where I can see Tesla going. So I think Tesla could rally hard till the end of the year. If it has an amazing run, it could probably run about to 285, maybe $300, who knows. And it has a very good chance of reaching 260, 265. And on the downside, there's too much hype with the Cybertruck and too many people wanting to buy. So I think Tesla has a floor about $210 right now. Okay, traders, now let's go for the fun part. Let's look at some trades. I'm going to start by looking at a trade for a small account. You know, not everybody has a lot of money, but everybody wants to make money. So let's take a look that almost everybody can place in their account. As you guys know, I like to go 45 to 60 days out. And I also like the monthly expirations because they have more liquidity. So here let's take a look at a long call vertical. And a long call vertical, it has two parts. One part is we buy a deep, not a deep in the money, like in the money call. This time I'm going to buy the 235 call. Well, Tesla's trading 238, so it's a little bit in the money. And I like to sell either the at the money call or the first call after the at the money, which would be the 240 call. Here we can see that this trade is $2.55, which translates to $250. What does this mean? It means that we're risking one to make one. And why? Because it's a $5 widespread. $5 widespreads can only go to $5. And if we're paying $250, we can only make $250. And here we can see on the Tasty Trade platform, it's giving us a probability of profit of 50%, which is pretty good. It has positive extrinsic value of $195, which is a little bit of an edge going our way. And we only need $250 of capital to place this trade. Why? Because in a debit trade, your maximum loss is equal to the debit you paid. So I love this trade. You risk $250 to make $250. Of course, with $250, we won't be able to buy the Cybertruck, but at least we can make some money to pay for Christmas and put something on your stocking. Now let's take a look at the graph, because I'm a very graphical person. I like to see stuff graphically, and here we can see how the trade looks. We have a little bit of cushion, like I said, $198. So Tesla could go down to 235 and we could still be okay. And if it flies, we were only going to make $250. If Tesla keeps going past 240, then what I would do is take my profits, shut it down, go to the dollar store and buy some nice Christmas gifts for the fam. Now, amigos, let's take a look if you have a big account. What would I do with a big trading account? I think you'll enjoy it because it matches my assumptions of what I think it will happen in the stock. So here we're looking at the Tesla chart, and I have a target of Tesla to keep going up to around between 260 and 265. So I want to place a trade that can capture that upside and also not lose money if we start going down, which is very important because nobody likes to lose money when the stock is going down. So let's see what we can do here. And this is one of the most favorite trades that I have. You guys know I like ratio spreads. I normally do those ratio spreads on the put side, but since we're bullish, since we think Santa's going to take us home, and I think Tesla's going to go to the 265. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to this 265, which is my target price, sell two, not one, two of these options for, they're trading around 660, 670. So we're going to collect around $13. And then we're going to use that $13 credit to buy the 245 call. And then we have a credit. Remember Tony's mantra, death before debit. And death before debit actually means death before extrinsic value. This trade has $4 of positive extrinsic value. So it barely matches my rule. And if Tesla goes from 245 to 265 and hits my target, we're gonna mint some money, baby. So it's a 20 wide strike. That means we can make $100 per point. That means it's 20 points wide. We can make $2,000. And what is the required capital? The reason this trade is for a big account, this trade requires about $10,000 worth of capital because we have a naked call in the structure. We have an extra 265 naked call. Let's take a look at the trade on the Analyze tab and see how this thing looks at. You can see here that the risk actually is not on the downside. You see we're going, if I go down, Tesla can go down to zero, and we're still going to make $4, which is our $4 extrinsic value. And you can see here how when the stock price here at 236. When it starts coming into what I call the circus tent, we start climbing the ladder of profits. And then, it's almost impossible to nail it at 265. But if we do, then we make a nice profit. But if we land anything on the top of the pyramid where the snow falls, if you like snow, you can see the snow, it's almost at the top of the mountain. So if we land anywhere on the snow part, we're going to make between $1,500 and $2,000. And then, because here's the magic of this trade, we collected, if Tesla goes from 245 to 265, we will make 20 points. And that 20-point profit is going to help offset the losses if Tesla keeps running past 265. So if Tesla keeps running more than I expect, and it goes crazy because the Cybertruck is running like a thief in the night, then my break even for this trade would be 285. Anything past 285, we would lose $100 for every point that Tesla goes past 285. But if we take a look at my chart, if Tesla goes to 285, it's hitting this, I think, very important resistance level. So I'm pretty confident that Tesla probably won't go past the 285, and I think Tesla will end up somewhere in here in our profit zone. That is the reason I like this trade. That is the reason I'm placing this trade. But remember, this trade requires a nice, big, chunky account. And now let's take a look at my favorite YOLO trade. I'm gonna risk it to get the biscuit, baby, so get ready. This trade is for the aggressive, for the crazies, for the ones who want to make a lot of money and want to take the risk. These other two trades had no downside risk. The debit spread had $250 of downside risk. The call ratio didn't have any downside risk, but this trade has a lot of downside risk, but it has a lot of features that can make us a lot of money if we're right. So let's take a look at this trade. This trade is a synthetic. What is a synthetic? A synthetic is a fancy name for an options trade that replicates long stock. So actually, this trade is practically the same as if we bought Tesla stock. The main difference is that if we're right, we can take a lot of make a lot of moves to eliminate the risk that we can't do with long stock. So in order to create this synthetic, the first thing we would do, we would sell the 240 put, and we would collect around $15. And then we would buy, with that credit, we would buy the 240 call, and that completes our synthetic. This trade has a delta of 100. What does that mean? It means that we're replicating long stock. And let's take a look at the chart. If you see the stock here, it's practically the same as owning long stock. So why do this, Tony? Why do this instead of buying 100 shares of stock? So let me tell you why we should do this. So if Tesla starts running from 240 to 245 to 250, what's going to happen? Our long call is going to gain money, and it's going to go in the money, and our short put is going to become out of the money, and it's going to start losing value. And there's two adjustments you can do with this trade. The first adjustment would be if Tesla starts running to 245, 250, 255, and you are afraid of the downside risk, what you can do is, here we go, we grab the 240 put and get rid of it. If we get rid of the put, then we're only left with the call. And the negative of keeping the call on, it means the call might still have a little bit of extrinsic value, and maybe that's going to put a little drag on our stock. But since we have profits because Tesla started running up like a thief in the night, then I think we're doing good. The second adjustment, if you want to be more conservative and if you're right on direction, remember these two adjustments only work if we are right on direction. So if we're right on direction, you keep the 240 call, and maybe when Tesla starts running, we can sell the 260 call or the 265 call to reduce the extrinsic value, and and this is what it would look like. So a long stock trade is now converted into a long call vertical, but here's the magic. This long call vertical is going to be put on for free, because you probably made $5 or $6 on the short put, and now you're collecting call premium to offset the call value, and maybe we already took the $15 that we spent buying the call, and then we have a freebie long call vertical. There's nothing better than free, and that's great. Now let's take a look at a bad scenario. What if we are wrong? Tony, what if we're wrong and nobody wants to buy the Cybertruck and Tesla stocks go down? So, this trade is very similar, like I said, to a long stock. The only thing we can do to protect ourselves when you have long stock, in reason, is to sell a call against it. If Tesla stock starts going down hard, what I would probably do is either sell the 245 call, or the 244, 243 call, or the 250 call to reduce my losses. What does that do? Here we can see in the chart that Tesla stock is here. By adding this extra short call, we're collecting $11, which helps us create a little buffer to the downside. And at least if Tesla stock starts going down, we don't lose our shirt. We don't lose everything, because we sold this call to give us a little extra chance. So there you have it, my friends. If you want to drink the Kool-Aid or do like Elon Musk, there you have it. We have 3 nice trades: small account, big account, and a crazy YOLO account. If you want to profit from the probable Santa Claus rally coming, if you like the Cybertruck, consider this trade. Remember, this is not a recommendation. It's just a trading idea. And if you want to grow your pile, follow Uncle Tony, subscribe, like, share, and help me grow my channel. I really appreciate it in this Christmas season. And remember, you gotta risk it to get the biscuit, baby.